Hi everyone. In this given problem statement of kth largest element in an array, given an integer array nums and an integer k, we have to return the kth largest element in the array, and we have to solve it without sorting. So the way of doing it, right, is using a min heap. So the basic idea is, right, we are going to create a min heap of size 2. So whenever the heap size would become more than 2, we are going to pop the element. So let us take this our min heap. Initial size is just 2, so the first element that we got is going to be 3. Then the second element we got is 2, so I'm going to add 2 out here and 3. The 1, again we are going to get an element 1. We are at this index, so the current value would be 1, 2 and 3. But here, right, the size is more than 2, right? We are going to pop this element out 1. Now current value is 2 and 3. Then we would be at 5. So 5 would be 2, 3 and 5. Because the size increased, right, we're going to pop the element. Then we're getting a value of 6. So we are going to pop the 3 and we're going to add 6 out here. Then we're getting a value of 4. So the 4 is going to come on the, because it's a min heap, right? 4, 5 and 6. We're going to pop it out. The element that will remain is 5 and 6, and we're just going to return the topmost element, which is 5, so it would be the kth largest element. And that's the basic idea. So here, right, the time complexity would be big of n, because we're just adding those values into our heap, and that's the idea, and we can solve it in a linear time. Now let us jump to the Python solution. The first thing for us to implement heap is to import the heap class. So import heap queue, and let me create our heap, which is going to be result, where we're going to store our values. And now you have to iterate through all the elements. So for I in range 0 to length of nums, and we are going to add this, so it would be heap queue dot heap push, and here we are going to pass in our result, and the current result would be the array and the nums of I, and we are also going to check the current value. So if I is greater than our k, so in that case we are going to say heap queue dot heap pop, and we're going to pass in the result, and at last we're going to return the result and the first element. Let me run the code. Yeah, I made one spelling error. It would be heap and push, so it will double P. And as you could see, right, in case you've ever forgot, you can look into this one. That is going to help you to debug, because it's not always very efficient to remember all these commands, right? It's very hard. So you can just check this out. It is throwing error. Let me check it out. Yeah, it would be whenever is I greater equal to k instead of just greater. So now you could see, right, the code ran successfully for the public test cases. Let me submit it up. As you could see, the code got submitted successfully, and it is beating 51.74% of the submission. And I think I can optimize it a bit more, but the basic idea is that we have to use HipQ to solve this type of problem. That's all for this video. See you in the next one.